Bases dropped on another round of soccer down here for your Tuesday. There really isn't a whole lot of MLS going on, but that is going to be the opening kickoff brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee. KickoffCoffeeCO.com on the web, Kickoff Coffee CO on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And what we're going to do is the question of the day is where the elements are when it comes to the opening kickoff, and it is attached to the MLS All-Star game. Get into a little bit of that and what your thoughts are, because it's Tuesday Thoughts. What do you think about the MLS All-Star game? A couple of questions as we go. I want to keep an eye on for MLS All-Star and the MLS Next Pro game as well. So stuff to look at there. And also kind of go overseas. Very, very busy day on your Tuesday. A lot of action going on. Once again, remember, we still got a little less than a month left in the transfer window. So folks are still trying to get all of their rosters figured out. There's EFL Cup. That's a busy day here today. So we'll, I think, 34 matches in EFL Cup. So we'll look at that and kind of get you ready for a very, very busy Tuesday. Also, a very, very busy Tuesday here across the network. Remember, Tuesdays are the day that we release the USL content. So it's what you're looking at with USL League One, what you're looking at with USL Championship. Tomorrow, Prim and Proper will be out for the first time here in the 22-23 season. And we will have a Golden Isles and Rotten Isles as a part of it here, as a special edition content before Contributor Nile heads back to school. So he's going to be helping us out with Prim and Proper with his Golden Isles and Rotten Isles here as we go. And also, once again, a lot of transfer news, a lot of action, so we'll get your day all squared away. But opening kickoff brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee, KickoffCoffeeCO.com. Once again, reminder, and thanks to everybody who has done this so far, is use the code SoccerDownHere15. SoccerDownHere15 gets you 15% off of your investment in Kickoff Coffee. And then what our friends at Kickoff Coffee do is they turn around and they will take 10% of the proceeds and turn it in and invest it toward youth development. Very, very cool stuff from our friends at Kickoff Coffee, KickoffCoffeeCO.com. And so the question of the day is kind of where we are here with the opening kickoff, and it has to do with the Major League Soccer All-Star Game. MLS Soccer All-Star Game is MLS All-Stars, Liga MX All-Stars, and it's a great bit of layering when it comes to Major League Soccer and the upcoming Leagues Cup competition against Liga MX sides. So it'll be really interesting to see how this lays out. So it's a couple of questions that I've got here for the opening kickoff. First and foremost, who are you most looking forward to seeing? Not from the MLS side, but from the Liga MX side. Who are you most looking forward to seeing for however many minutes? Who are you most excited to see when it comes to the Liga MX side for the MLS All-Star Game? And then there is Susanna Collins announced that it looks like you're gonna have Wars returning, Wars with a Z. But apparently it's only going to be in-house entertainment. It's not going to be a part of the on-camera aspect of the All-Star Game. So, you've got Goalie Wars with a Z, and that's going to be there for folks who are there, but not for those of us who would be watching and consuming it otherwise. What would you do? Here's your question of the day. What would you do to the MLS All-Star Game that hasn't been done, that you would either bring back or institute to make it more of an enjoyable experience? Maybe the answer is nothing. Maybe you're cool with how things are right now. You're cool with it. So the answer might be nothing. But if there's something on your mind, frankly, I think that the Wars should be an active part of it when it comes to tiebreaker and things like that. But that's just me. I think really it should be more active across the board when it comes to competitions. And instead of penalty kick shootouts, I think you ought to have Wars with a Z, but that's just me. So what would you do? Question of the day. What would you do to the MLS All-Star Game to make it more enjoyable for the hardcore fan and the casual fan? What would you do? So that's your question of the day here in the opening kickoff. Once again, brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee, kickoffcoffeeco.com, and Kickoff Coffee CO brought across the board on all social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And so we know what the roster is. Brandon Vasquez was an addition to what you're going to be seeing for MLS All-Star Game, but also as a part of the MLS Next All-Star Game presented by Allstate, East and West format, noon Eastern, at the National Sports Center in Blaine. So you're looking at Noah Cobb, one of the defenders that is a part of this roster. So it'll be great to see Noah Cobb as a part of the MLS Next All-Star Game here at noon Eastern time. And you can watch that. It's presented by our friends at Allstate, and you can watch that on Twitter, MLSsoccer.com, and the MLS app at noon Eastern on August the 10th. So August the 10th, noon Eastern, it's the MLS Next All-Star Game presented by Allstate. So we'll be looking at that as well. And you look at the rosters, and you got Noah Cobb that's a part of it at the age of 17. One of the you've got 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are part of it. Malachi Grant also at the age of 16. Also going to be a part of it as well for Atlanta United. So you have that influence for Atlanta United as a part of the East roster. So that'll be very, very cool to have that kind of activity and engagement from an Atlanta United perspective. So, you're looking at a lot of 16, 17-year-olds on the Western roster as well. The only 18-year-olds are on the Eastern roster, frankly. So a lot of 16, 17-year-olds in the MLS Next All-Star Game. Jack Penayotu for New England and Colin Griffith from the PDA, who's going to be on the Eastern team, the East team coached by Javier Morales and Rob Becerra from Miami and New England. Those are the only two 18-year-olds. Everybody else is 16 and 17-year-olds, but the idea of having Noah Cobb at the age of 17, Malachi Grant at the age of 16 there for Atlanta United and their investment in what we've been seeing from the academy, and now they'll be a part of the MLS Next Pro All-Star Game. So very, very cool stuff there as well. So two Atlanta United talents will be on display on the 10th at noon on Twitter, MLSsoccer.com. So you can watch the MLS Next Pro All-Star Game. Very, very cool stuff there. So once again, QOD, question of the day, brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee. What would you do to the MLS All-Star Game to make it more viewer-friendly? What would you do to fix it? I'll put that in quotation marks as well. So what would you do to fix the MLS All-Star Game and make it more engaging for the casual fan in addition to the hardcore fan? So like I said, maybe the answer is nothing, but it's out there. That's the QOD, and that's the morning kickoff brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee. A lot of stuff going on in all of the activity with what's going on overseas. So we'll take a look at the papers first and foremost and see what's going on there before we get into a lot of the deal-making that's going on. Courtesy of our friends at the Daily Telegraph, Manchester United considering a move to finally sign Lazio's Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. So is that going to be a part of their transfer window frustrations? Chelsea can find out this week if they've got a chance at signing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Barcelona. They've been prioritizing interest in defender Wesley Fofana from Leicester. Still in dialogues there in trying to grab him. And midfielder Frankie de Jong, who's yet to inform Barcelona that he wants to leave. But remember, the larger picture is that contract, and it looks like the front office in Barcelona is saying that there were some alleged shenanigans in piecing the deal together for this new deal that De Jong is currently under, and the criminality that the current front office believes happened to structure this new deal means that they can reissue it back to the old terms, and so that could be something else that would have to be discussed when it comes to Frankie de Jong and his possible exit to Barcelona. So I think that really has just begun, frankly, in the negotiations. But those negotiations are going to have to be done very, very quickly if things are going to be orchestrated for Frankie de Jong and his exit. Daily Mirror, Arsenal and Liverpool both looking to make a move for Villarreal winger Yeremy Pino. Adrien Rabiot's mother, an Asian, is only interested in talking directly to Manchester United football director John Murtough. rather than any intermediaries about personal terms over a potential move to Old Trafford from Juve. Erik ten Hag appears to have entrusted Anthony Martial with leading the line for Manchester United this season. Manchester United, reminder from our friends at the Mirror, they overlooked Graham Potter for their managerial role and have seen the Brighton boss beat them twice. Guardian, Barcelona still cannot register their summer signings after La Liga rejected an attempt to use the club's own funds to inflate the value of two of the asset sales they had resorted to in order to balance the books and strengthen the team. Now they have to pay taxes on that to the tune of €37.5 million, I believe. £37.5 million, one of the two. That's a lot of taxes on money that they wanted to inflate the value with, and they thought that they could do that to balance the books, and now they got to pay taxes on it now that it's being considered separate and apart by La Liga's front office. The Manchester United number from the Times on Rabiot is looking like it's £15 million. Tottenham Hotspur made an offer to loan Nicola Zaniolo with an obligation to buy for £20 million, but that has been rejected by Roma. Scottish Sun, John Kennedy could be on the verge of leaving Celtic to become the new boss of Midtjylland in the Danish side, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. When you're looking at all of the moves that could possibly be going on, and there's a lot outside of what's being looked at in the papers, you're looking at the possibility of Rabiot. You're looking that they're confident on bringing in Arnautovic, and there is a lot of work. There's a lot of work that is going to have to be done here by Manchester United and Erik ten Hag to get things going forward. So, United expected to go back with another improved offer for Marko Arnautovic after the first offer was turned down yesterday. Former target Benjamin Sesko is close to signing for RB Leipzig from Red Bull Salzburg. And so we'll keep an eye on that when it comes to what Manchester United can or can't do or is trying to do going forward. Everton has sealed the loan deal for Connor Cody, and the Wolves have signed Gonzalo Guedes from Valencia on a 5-year deal to help out their offense. So a move from Everton and a move for Wolves in the Premier League. You're looking at all of the other moves. Looks like Leipzig has agreed to a deal on Timo Werner. They've agreed to a deal to re-sign him. So 2 years ago, Chelsea picked up Werner from RB Leipzig. Really wasn't able to do much when it came to the goal scoring. So the Blues activated the $45 million release clause to begin with, and now you have an agreement that has been reached for Werner to head back to RB Leipzig and re-sign there. Fee of €30 million plus bonuses has been agreed to. Timo Werner expected to arrive in Germany this week. Set to return to RB Leipzig on a season-long loan with an option to buy, but the talks moved faster than that. So now the agreement is on a permanent transfer. So $45 million activated 2 years ago when he was 24. At 26, wants to return to his old club and wants to try to play so he can find a spot in Hansi Flick's Germany club in the World Cup in November. So Timo Werner is heading back to RB Leipzig. Also, you're looking at James Maddison. I think James Maddison has now let itself be the new national emergency when it comes to Newcastle and their pursuit of James Maddison. They've been turned down twice. Will it be turned down for a third time? That's the largest question. Wolves chair Jeff Shee told the club's website on the signing of Gonzalo Guedes they've been monitoring him for a long time. Very pleased to welcome him to Wolves. Natural talent, performed very well across Europe and his country, well suited to the Premier League. Worked with Bruno Lage at Benfica, played with many members of the squad previously. Confident he'll settle in quickly to the group there. So, once again, reminder, it's a 5-year deal, capped 32 times at the international level, and he scored 13 times in his best La Liga campaign last year, left Valencia with 36 goals in 176 appearances. Connor Cody, in the quotes that were released, he says he's pledged to help the club, meaning Everton, move forward, completing the season-long loan that is there. Chelsea defender Malang Sarr is in France undergoing a medical with Monaco. Deal has been agreed with Chelsea that will see the center back join on an initial season-long loan. The deal also includes an obligation to buy the 23-year-old if he meets certain performance-related metrics. Sarr joined Chelsea on a free from Nice back in 2020. We mentioned Marko Arnautovic. Bologna sporting director Marco Di Vaio has shut Manchester United down in that first go-round. Sky in Italy reported on Sunday United had a bid of approximately £7.6 million turned down by Bologna for the 33-year-old. So now Manchester United is chasing after 33-year-olds. Expected to return with an improved offer. Arnautovic scored 14 Serie A goals last year, started for Bologna in the Coppa Italia tie against Cosenza Monday night. And Di Vaio says, we want to keep going with Arnautovic, as he told Italia One, and keep him. He's at the center of our project. Of course, we're proud, and this is still quoting Di Vaio, of course, we're proud to receive interest from a club like Manchester United for one of our players, but Bologna's wish now is to keep our current team and strengthen it in order to have an important season. Money's not the issue. Marco is priceless for us. He represents a gamble that we all won. We went to pick him up in China when everybody forgot about him. He's too important for us. We want to keep him on helping us reach that next level, grow our youngsters, leading by example. So right now, it looks like it's going to take a lot to pry Marko Arnautovic from where he currently is to try to bring him back to bring him into the Premier League. So we'll see what happens there once again when it comes to Marko Arnautovic and the possibility of him ending up someplace else like the Premier League. Juve getting closer to a deal, agreeing to Eintracht Frankfurt winger Filip Kostic. West Ham had a bid worth of to £12.7 million rejected last month, with Eintracht Frankfurt looking for closer to £17 million for the 29-year-old. Talks have intensified over the last couple of days, courtesy of our friends at Sky. Only about €2 million, or £1.7 million, believed to be the gap between Juve's offer, Frankfurt's demand. Juve boss Max Allegri has identified Kostic as the missing piece to complete his front line after complications to close a deal for their main target, Alvaro Morata. Kostic started in Frankfurt's 6-1 loss to Bayern in the Bundesliga opener last week due to feature in their Super Cup clash against Real Madrid later this week. Juve wants to close the deal on Tuesday to avoid the trip to Helsinki. He's out of contract next summer, free to sign a pre-contract with a foreign side in January. So that's where you are with your transfer news when it comes to everything going on in Europe with the larger names, and obviously we'll be keeping an eye on that. Your notes on who is playing tomorrow, and there's a lot of action going on tomorrow, so we will look at what you're staring at and what it could be, what your viewing habits could be like tomorrow or later today. Obviously, if you're bright and early, you're looking at what's going on in the Far East. Then you have action in the morning. You have PDL. You've got Champions League that starts at noon with our friends at Bodo Glimt. You have 10 matches in the Champions League in the qualifications. And it is Zalgiris, Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt is a big favorite. Apollon Cyprus and Maccabi Haifa. Maccabi Haifa is a big road favorite. Our friends from Sheriff Tiraspol, big underdog as they head to Victoria Pilsen. You've got Red Star, Belgrade, big favorite, heading to Armenia to take on Punic Yerevan. Midtjylland and Benfica might be one of the matches of the day. Benfica is a favorite at minus 132. Dinamo Zagreb and Ludogorets Razgrad. Zagreb at a minus 137. Ferencvaros from Hungary and Karabag from Azerbaijan. That is at 2 o'clock. Ferencvaros is a plus 114. PSV and Monaco. PSV is a plus 133. Monaco is almost a plus 200. Dinamo Kiev is on the road at 230. They're an underdog in Rangers and Royal Union. With Belgium right now, Rangers at home are a minus 137. So that's your 4, 8, 10 matchups in qualification for the second legs. And that is going on all afternoon, starting at about 2 o'clock and working its way through the afternoon hours. EFL Cup, there's a boatload of games. We mentioned, I think, 34, and they're all starting at 2:45 Eastern. Ones of note, Norwich and Birmingham is at 2:45. Bolton is in action against Salford. Luton and Newport, Charlton and QPR at 2:45. Cardiff and Portsmouth. AFC Wimbledon and Gillingham. Huddersfield, Preston North End. Rochdale and Burton Albion. Ipswich and Colchester. Forest Green Rovers and Leyton Orient. Bradford City and Hull. And Oxford United and Swansea. All those are at 2:45. And we'll keep an eye on all of those and give you some of the greatest hits when it comes to EFL Cup tomorrow. Reading and Stevenage. Jessica Charman will be keeping an eye on that one for Reading at home as a big favorite as well. Europa League is going on tomorrow as well. And it's one match at 3 o'clock. Our friends from Shkupi from Macedonia are a home favorite hosting Shamrock Rovers. More action will be going on Thursday, as we all know that Thursday is the big day for Europa League. So that's at 3 o'clock, taking you into the afternoon. Liga de Expansión is at 6:05. You've got Copa Sudamericana also starting at 6:05. Atlético Goianiense and Nacional out of Uruguay. That one is at 6:15. Remember, Atlanta United 2 is on the road at Montclair, taking on Red Bulls 2 at 7 o'clock. Red Bulls 2 are a plus 114. Atlanta United 2 is a plus 171. The draw is a plus 292. How do the twos respond to the thumping that they took in Birmingham on the weekend? 6-0 the final score there with Birmingham. How does Atlanta United 2 respond? That's going to be one of the more interesting questions as they play Red Bulls 2 at Montclair. Also, you've got Liga de Expansión at 8:05. You have Argentina, our friends at Almirante Brown, taking on Independiente Rivadavia. And that's Rivadavia is a slight road favorite there. Brazil Serie B, Colombia, Copa Libertadores is going on at 8:30. Flamengo and Corinthians. Flamengo is a big favorite at minus 217. Independiente del Valle is at minus 312 in the Sudamericana, taking on Deportivo Táchira at plus 851. You've got Costa Rica and Mexico in the Liga de Expansión going on as well. Also news quickly out of Atlanta United camp where Mateus Osechu is now listed as week-to-week after the lower leg injury that was sustained first and foremost when he came down and landed on Joseph Martinez's instep. And you saw the ankle kind of buckle, and he tried to gut it out for a little bit more in the first half, but was eventually substituted for by Marcelino Moreno. And so now we can add Mateus Osechu to the injured list. I think that makes now 20 separate injuries on a roster of 37, and I think I'm counting folks more than once. George Campbell and Mateus Osechu, I think, make 20 separate injuries on the roster of 37 here on the day. So that's what Atlanta United is still continuing to face, and they've got to get ready for a very, very tough test at TQL going up against FC Cincinnati on the weekend. And it'll be a very busy weekend because Atlanta United 2, after playing Red Bulls 2 in the midweek, has to turn around and come back to the Fraction to take on the Miami FC on a Saturday at the same time that Atlanta United is taking on FC Cincinnati. Atlanta United 2 is hosting the Miami FC. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well across the board with everything that's going on in this particular hemisphere when it comes to the sport of soccer. A couple of other notes before we go, just kind of bouncing around here a little bit. Reminder, question of the day from our friends at Kickoff Coffee in the opening kickoff. What would you do to the Major League Soccer? What would you do to the MLS All-Star game to make it more enjoyable, more watchable for not just the casual fan but the hardcore fan, and have it be an experience that you think might be missing, unless you don't think there's anything missing, and we'll just leave it alone, and it's just good as it is. So let us know what you're thinking about the MLS All-Star game and what you're thinking about it. Could it be improved? Could it not be improved? Could it be left alone? Just let it be. It could be different teams, but you tell me what you're thinking. That's the question of the day for us, brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee. And while we're at it, we can talk about our friends at a Lemonized Service. For odor-free, clean, fresh air, one place you need to go. It is a Lemonized Service, and it is right there for you at lemonize.com/Atlanta. Go to lemonize.com, but add the /Atlanta so they know what part of the world that you are looking for their assistance from to help you out with your odors inside the home. odor-free, clean, fresh air with their proven scientific formula attacking elements all the way down to the molecule. Unlike our favorite masking agents that will just, when they're sprayed in the air, they just are masking agents for a reason. All they're doing is they're attacking what's in the air and forcing you to smell other things, as opposed to what our friends at Eliminize do, attacking things all the way down to the molecule with their proven scientific formula for odor-free, clean, fresh air. One place you need to go. It's Eliminize service, eliminize.com/Atlanta, proud sponsors of everything SDH. Fabrizio Romano reporting that former Manchester United goalkeeper Sergio Romero is joining Boca Juniors on a free, signs with Boca until June of 2023. Bologna manager Sinisa Mihailovic on Manchester United's bid for Marco Arnautovic. I would be happy for Marco in case he joins United, but I don't think he will leave. I spoke to Arnautovic about the Manchester United proposal. In case he leaves, we will see, but I think he will stay. Also from Fabrizio Romano, Destiny Udogie to Tottenham. Full agreement reached with Udinese for more than €20 million after personal terms are in place. The fullback will be the Spurs player in 2023, wanted by Paratici. He will stay at Udinese for one more year on loan. So that took a couple of days, but that was finally kept on. But at the same time, he's staying for another year on loan, and then he will come to Spurs in 2023. Also from Fabrizio Romano, Villarreal pushing to sign Lo Celso as soon as possible, while Fiorentina tries to enter the race until the end, as he's a top priority for their manager. Villarreal in talks for Lo Celso on loan with a buy option that could become mandatory. So we'll keep an eye on that. Barca still will complete the Marcos Alonso deal very soon. Negotiations in final stages with Chelsea since Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well as things continue to develop for Barca and Marcos Alonso. So we'll keep an eye on that too. Looking at stuff from David Ornstein, you go to the Athletic UK for your requested/required reading with Barcelona, the Athletic UK investigation on Barca's financial crisis. So that's your requested reading today. Go to the Athletic UK and look at the David Ornstein piece so you can keep an eye on what's going on with Barcelona and all of their finances and see what they're up to as well. So a lot of news overseas. Once again, everybody's chasing after targets, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that stuff as well. Once again, reminder, Prim and Proper will be coming up on the network. We're going to be continuing to catch up with our friends at Tormenta after their successful USLW championship. We'll have that up on the network as well. And once again, we'll have all of our friends popping up later in the week. Dylan Butler, Nico Moreno. We're at Line Creek on Thursday. Remember, that starts at 6 o'clock. That one's going to be fun as well. And also catching up with our friends at Beyond Goals. I believe it's Greg Garza's turn on Friday to catch up with us at Beyond Goals. So very, very busy week. A lot of stuff going on internationally when it comes to what you can watch. Domestically, everything is focused on MLS All-Star. So that's where we are. Noah Cobb and Malachi Grant in the MLS Next All-Star Game. Very, very cool stuff coming up on the 10th at noon on Twitter and at MLSsoccer.com. So once again, on the network later today, all of our USL programming. USL Championship Week in Review, the review preview there. USL League One review preview up there as well, and we will be back at it with you tomorrow. So for everybody here at SDH, for Jason, for Jarrett, for Nick, I'm just John. Play safe, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday. Send us your Tuesday thoughts, and we'll catch up with you later on. Mucha plata, y'all.